Okay, so now we're live on YouTube. I will explain a few things about Talk and Talk before we start. As you know, we are a conversation platform where you can come here and talk in a lot of languages. We have English, Spanish, French, Italian, and today we're speaking in English about mastering negotiations. So let's start with the first question. What type of situations might you need to negotiate in? So let's start with you, Juliana. What type of situations might you need to negotiate in?
I think all situations might need a negotiation. When you have a conflict, you need to think about the conflict like something you want, and the other person want to, but don't have too much, and you need to divide. For example, this happens too much with a child. You need to divide your toys, your brothers, sisters, and your colleagues in school. Many things happen.
That's true. Yeah, they know how to negotiate, children. They are experts on that. That's true. And you, Jonas, what type of situations might you need to negotiate in?
There's a lot of times you need to negotiate. Sometimes not explicit. Sometimes you are trying to combine something, even a party and a friend with friends. You need to negotiate to find a date, find a time. So I think that's a thing you do every day with a lot of situations. And sometimes you don't even know you are negotiating.
That's true. It's a reflection that I didn't have, because that's true. We need to negotiate all the time, right? To put our opinions, to do what we want. Mostly when we need to do that with other people, né? Because most of the times they can disagree, right? So we need to negotiate. That's true. Anyway, Emerson, what type of situations might you need to negotiate in?
I believe that it's most important to choose negotiation in everything. Mainly to talk about to sales and to buy something. So we need to use this a lot on day, for example. In my opinion, I use this a lot in everything. But I believe that the mailing is more about to buy something, to buy or to sell something.
That's true. Yeah, usually when you are buying something and you are negotiating, it means you are pechinchando, né? I don't know this word in English, but when you're selling, you're trying to sell it more expensive, and when you're trying to buy cheaper. And it's always like that. Life's like that in sales,
Yeah.
I guess. And you, Malu, what type of situations might you need to negotiate in?
In my work, when I need to hire someone for my team, or even when I'm trying to sell a project and I need to demonstrate why it's important for my company. So those are some of the moments that I need to negotiate. And in my house with my family, what time we are going to the gym, for example. We used to go together. So sometimes I can't go at 5 p.m., but I can at 8. And we need to negotiate and find the best way, the best moment to go together, because then we go and we do it together. During the weekends, are we going to the cinema? What movie are we going to watch? Sometimes I want to watch one and my husband wants another, but then we try to negotiate and okay, let's see this one first and this other for next weekend, something like that. So we are always negotiating all the areas of our life.
Yeah, when you live together, you need to negotiate a lot, right? Because usually you need to do things together. Just like I said, you need to go to the gym. And then we're not doing 2 trips to the gym, do only one. And then you need to negotiate, right? When, where we go.
since the breakfast and to the dinner, you are always negotiating.
That's true. And you, Márcio, what type of situations might you need to negotiate in?
When you sell or buy something, negotiation is common. But I believe that life is an internal negotiation. A couple need negotiation. Brother, if they are smart, they also negotiate it too. The life is a negotiation. Yeah.
Márcio, can you repeat the beginning? I couldn't understand really well. It's really common or it's not that common?
No, it's really common. When you sell or buy something, negotiation is common. Okay. But I believe that life is an eternal negotiation. A couple need negotiation. Brother, if they are smart, they also negotiate it.
That's true. Life is an eternal negotiation. That's entirely true. And you, Renan, what type of situations might you negotiate in?
Well, there are a lot of opportunities to negotiation in the real life. For example, for me, in my day-to-day basis, I have to negotiate a lot when I work. For example, in my job, when I have to negotiate a backlog task, for example, that we may have may require more time for develop this task or test this task. So it's important to negotiate with my product owner, for example. I work with IT, so it's important to keep in mind that we need more time or we need less time for it, and that with that we can negotiate to deliver the task, for example. So it's important to have this kind of negotiation mind in my job. So this is an example for me.
Yeah, I guess in every job you need to be smart, right? Like in anything you do, you need to be smart. And this type of negotiations, if you're really good at it, you are smart. So you need to know how to handle situations well, right? So it's important to know how to negotiate. That's true. And you, Gustavo, what type of situations might you negotiate in?
Oh, all the time. And by here, everyone here, I couldn't imagine it. So much time we are negotiating. So I'm negotiating with my wife, for example, with do one task for her, what time I can do it, or on my job also, like Renan, with backlogs, negotiation, more time to do something. And I don't know, a lot of time with my family and my son, but specifically with my son that born last week. I can't negotiate and nothing because he simply no cry and cry and cry. So I'm commanded for him. So with that exception of all others people, we are negotiating. So it's very interesting.
That's true. And kids, when they stop crying and start talking, then they start negotiating too, because they are experts on that. So guys, as you can see, we have a lot of people here today. And usually when we have the situation, I like to divide in breakout rooms because then everyone can have the opportunity to talk as much as they want. And then I need a volunteer to help me in the breakout room. Matthew, you are in your job, right?
Right. I'm here
Right.
in my job today.
Hannah, are you able to help me in the breakout room?
Yes, sure.
Yes. So guys, I will send some of you to go there with Hannah, okay? And then I'll put 4 there and 4 here. The ones that are like more used to talk and talk, I will put there. And the others I'll let here. Just a second. Okay. So the ones who received the invited, you can go now. The others stay here with me and we can continue. So let's go to question number 2. What advice would you give to someone who was about to have their first negotiation? So Malu, let's start with you. What advice would you give to someone who was about to have their first negotiation?
I believe to be open to hear the other part, because negotiation is about the win-win. So if you're not hearing, you will never find a solution for the problem that you're trying to solve.
That's true. You can just only talk when you need to hear the other person's opinion. That's true. And it's not that common to see that, né? Não é muito comum as pessoas fazerem isso. That's true.
No, I'm in negotiations for 5 months, I believe, with another company, and basically they are not hearing what we need. So basically, it's something that I'm facing every day, you know, and it just looks more urgent. Try to be the other in other negotiations, hearing what the other part needs.
No, they need to do that, because if it's not like that, it's not negotiation. It's like, I tell you what to do, right? I'm like ordering, I'm not negotiating. That's really true. And you, Jonas, what advice would you give to someone who was about to have their first negotiation?
It is want to negotiate. It's more like a game of manipulation in that case than really a simple negotiation. So if he's going to, he knows what is coming. So one thing is to hide your cards, don't show everything, and at the same time try to listen to the other part to find out what they want, because they are trying the same trick to not say everything they want to get.
That's true. Just like a poker game, right? You need to
Yes.
hide your strategy. You need to know what you're going to do. It's true.
Yes, and that's the worst part of negotiation, because you don't really know exactly what the other wants and what they can offer, and you want to play the same game. So in the end, maybe neither is going to leave you win.
That's true. Yeah. If you don't do that in a way that you know how to do, in a way that it's well done, no one will win nothing. Ninguém vai ganhar nada. Vai ser só uma conversa jogada fora. Loss of time, waste of time. And you, Gustavo, what advice would you give to someone who was about to have their first negotiation?
Okay, I would like to advise for to lose, because we can't gain all about our goals on negotiation. The two parts have to gain, and to do that, both have to lose. So I would like to advise to lose.
Yeah, once in a lifetime you need to lose, right? Not every day we can win. So that's true. Yeah, and when you are prepared for that, it's even easier. Né? Quando tá preparado, é até mais fácil. It's true, perfect. I like this advice. It's not good, like it's not good to lose, but it's good to know that probably you will. So let's go to question number 3. Do you think you are good at negotiating? Why? Why not? So Jonas, do you think you're good at negotiating?
No, definitely.
Why not?
Definitely not. I don't like conflict, and I stutter. So let's say if I try to negotiate call the service and try to cancel, so cable TV, something like that. It's normal you get something, but I put in my mind that if they don't give me anything, I will cancel the service, and I will find out without the service. I will in the end I will be without the service. So I am stubborn in that way. So I normally don't, I am not a good negotiator because I don't try to lie. I don't try to manipulate. I am not good at that.
Yeah, I think it's an ability that I guess you need to practice, because like I'm not that good either. Like, I'm terrible. I just say I think that, and then even when I know I am right about something, I know what I want, I know what I need to say, I think that's wrong, I think that's not right, I think you should do that, and I never try to like convince, because it's too hard. I'm not good at it. I'm terrible.
Bargain, pechincha, bargain. I am not. I cannot do that. I don't like to do that.
Me neither.
That's another type of negotiation that I think don't do.
Yeah. I guess old people, they are really good at this one. Like old ladies, when they're trying to buy their fruits, they are really good at pechincha. Really good. Bargain. Nah, you mentioned bargain. That's true. They're really good.
I was one time at Ouro Preto, in Ouro Preto. It has a fair, and every price was overpriced. So they expected you to negotiate, to bargain. I did that in there, but I don't like this. Just put the right price and you decide for me without you need to make this dance, make this negotiation. I just like to say the price and I will think about.
Perfect. Yeah, I guess it's easier that way, right? For everyone. Just put the right price. And you, Gustavo, do you think you're good at negotiating?
Sometimes yes, sometimes not. When I was thinking here about the time when I was single, and I had just to do negotiation on my job, my work with my friends. It's so different than you are after you got married, because it's because I have said on the previous question that we have to lose for be happy on negotiation. For me to be good in negotiation is to make the other person on the other side happy also. And because with my after I got married, I could realize that if I was the man, the mankind that it was gaining all the time, my wife will start to be sad, really very sad. So for me to be good at negotiation is to look for the other side. If they are happy, sometimes I can be, unfortunately I can't do it always, but I think is a thing to improve. So yeah, I think sometimes yes, sometimes not, but I'm really willing to improve it.
I guess this happens mostly when we are negotiating with someone that we like, right? Because if we see that all the time we're doing something that we like, but maybe they don't, we see that they are sad, and since we like them, we don't want to do something that they like too, right? I guess this happens only when you're negotiating with someone that you like, because if someone that you don't like doesn't matter for you, a co-worker or like a company, it doesn't matter a lot, né? But when it's with someone that we like or we love, like a husband, a wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, it's more complicated, right? That's true. I didn't think about that when you mentioned like to lose. Eu não pensei nisso, but that's true. And you, Malu, do you think you're good at negotiating? I guess you are, and it's your job, but do you think you're good at negotiating? Why not?
I believe depends on the subject. So if I had some previous experience about the subject, I believe it helps in the next negotiation that I need to make. But if it's something brand new, then sometimes I don't know what are the consequences, what is the best or not. So for example, I was living in Brazil and I know exactly how is my field, how much it pays. So I have a view on how to negotiate my conditions in Brazil. But then now that I'm in another country, I'm still starting to understand how does it work, if an amount of money is enough or not, or if I receive a proposition from other country, is it necessary or is it enough or I need more? How does it work, you know? So basically, considering that I still do not have the experience, sometimes I can't be a good negotiator. So that's why I believe it depends on the subject, because for some of them I have some experience, but for some of them I'm still creating this kind of experience, and then maybe someday I'll be better on it, but by now maybe not.
You need like to adapt to the environment, right? You need to know where you are. Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly.
I guess you need to feel comfortable too, because like you can't tell your eu esqueci propostas. Eu esqueci propósitos em inglês, gente. But you can't tell prepositions, isso. You can't tell your prepositions if you don't have, if you're not comfortable, né? If you don't feel like the other person will understand, né? If you don't feel comfortable, you won't tell. So you need to understand where you are, né? That's true. If you can see the person is open to negotiate, also some people are not. Let's go to question number 4. If you needed to compare, would negotiations be as a battle or as a dance? And why? Because in the video they mention some people see it as a battle, some people see it as a dance. So would you see like what? Let's see. Gustavo, if you needed to compare, would they be a battle, a dance, or what?
It's a very funny question. I will respond as a dance because I can't imagine do a battle all the time, because we are negotiating all the time. So as a dance, yeah, so like I have said, you know, in my context. So sometimes I will be there. I have so many words in Portuguese to illustrate a dance of a negotiation, but I will try. When we are on a dance, have some passes, some movements that are more good to one, but not so good to other. Like I will can't do it, but yeah, I will simply give this response like a dance. Okay.
But I could get your point. Like, see, in some situations, it's best for ones, but worse for others. In some situations, more comfortable for ones, not that comfortable for others. So it depends. I could get the main point. Makes sense. And you, Malu, if you needed to compare, would they be a battle or a dance?
I believe depends on the negotiation. So, for example, when someone invites you to dance, not necessarily you need to accept. Sometimes you just can say no. So basically, sometimes someone wants to negotiate something with you and you just can say, okay, it's not interesting for me, so thank you, and you are not negotiating something. But when you are negotiating something, it can start as a dance and then change for a battle. For example, negotiating something for 5 months. It should be a dance, but now it's like a battle. And then it's difficult to find a win-win. So I believe it depends on the situation. Sometimes it can start as a dance and to be transformed in a battle. But I don't know if I can just choose one.
Perfect. Okay, but it's an answer. It depends. It depends the answer that I most hear.
To lawyer. Everything depends.
It depends, but that's fine. It's my answer to that too. I don't know. I guess it depends on the negotiation. Depends on who you are negotiating with. Depends on what are the contexts, what are the reasons you are negotiating. Depends on a lot of things. So I think it depends too. In my opinion, just like yours, it depends. And you, Jonas, if you needed to compare, would they be a battle, a dance, or what?
I completely agree with Malu. It depends on the case. It can start like a dance. It can scale to a battle. It can start like a battle, depending on the other part. So it could be either.
That's true. Perfect. Perfect, guys. That's it. So let's go to question number 5. Are you comfortable in a negotiation situation? Why not? Because just like I said, Jonas said it too, we don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable. I don't like that. I don't feel. But let's see, what do you think? Malu, do you feel comfortable in a negotiation situation?
Depends on the subject and the person who with I'm negotiating. So for example, when I'm negotiating something with my husband, I'm more inclined to be comfortable. When I'm negotiating something with a vendor, then sometimes I'm not, because basically it can be a deal breaker, you know. Of course, with my husband, sometimes we have some negotiations that also can be a deal breaker, but I can show more any kind of, I don't know how can I say it in English. Maybe vulnerabilities. So I believe, depending on the relation, you can say, look, it's not nice, it's not good for me because it brings me this kind of feeling. But depending on the negotiation, I just can't do it. So depending on the person and the subject, I feel more comfortable than in other situations.
Perfect. Yeah, just like I said, the most common answer, it depends, right? Because like, we can't say that we are comfortable in every situation, right? I can deal with the president or I can deal with my boyfriend. It's the same thing. No, it's not, right? It's totally different. You feel comfortable where you know what you can say, when you have the knowledge of the situation. And if not, you feel uncomfortable.
And there are some negotiations that you never feel comfortable. For example, if you are negotiating with a bank, you will never, especially in Brazil, that you have horrible taxes, and so basically you never feel comfortable in this kind of situation.
That's true. And if you are negotiating with someone that has like a power over you, because the banks, they have the money, so they have a power over you. So it's terrible to negotiate with them. Like if you're in debt or something, it's complicated. People will never feel comfortable with that. And you, Jonas, do you feel comfortable in a negotiation situation?
No. Like I said, I don't like negotiation. With my wife, we have a technique. When it's normal, you have something you are negotiating, and the other part just don't care too much. So you do the veto power. So the other part can choose what they want, but I can veto the chose one, the option. So where you are going in the weekend, and in the options she say beach, and I don't want, so I veto that, and you try another one.
Nice. It's a nice tip, right? I guess if it works, that's fine. Funciona, tá ótimo. Perfect. It's good that you could find a solution for that problem. É bom conseguir achar uma solução. That's it. Perfect. And you, Gustavo, are you comfortable in a negotiation situation?
Not also, and I would like to change my previous response. Is a battle. And also a dance, it will depend. I could remember a lot of examples here in my mind, and I'm not comfortable, and I can't even imagine a situation that I was comfortable on a negotiation, and if it would be comfortable, it was agreement instead of negotiation. So not, and why not? Because it's about things that we like to do, and we have to avoid ours liked goals, our things we like it for the other side. So we have to find a way, a path to at least west something that we will like. It's not good.
Yeah. You need to think of a lot of things, right? So it's complicated. It's too hard if you're not used to that. If you're not used, like you do that for your job, for life, it's really complicated to be in that situation. At least I feel anxious. I don't like. I feel like the person will be offended with something that I will say. I don't know. I hate it. Terrible. I get your point. I don't like it. So let's go to question number 6. Are you good at seeing a situation from someone else's point of view? Why not? It's a thing that you need to do when you are in negotiating something, right? But sometimes you're good at negotiating, but sometimes you're not good at seeing the other side. So let's see. Jonas, are you good at seeing a situation from someone else's point of view?
Sometimes, not always. I try in any situation to see from every point I can, but sometimes you misunderstand, or you just don't have don't have the knowledge to see the situation like the other person sees. So just sometimes it depends on the person, it depends on the type of negotiation, what is negotiating.
Perfect. That's true. I guess like if you are used to the situation as something common on your daily routine, it's easier for you to understand the other point. Because probably you might have thought about the other points or something else. But if it's something that you really don't know about, how can you think of the other point? Como você consegue pensar, né, do outro lado? Se é uma coisa que você nem conhece direito. So it really depends. That's true. And you, Gustavo, are you good at seeing a situation from someone else's point of view?
I think sometimes, yeah, because if you would try to convince someone, you have to find out the sides of the other side, because if you not do it, you will not have arguments to convince the other side. So for convince the other side, you have to put yourself on your place for it. So sometime and sometime not. It's hard because maybe the side of the other person is about very I don't know the word, but yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes not.
Yeah, I guess most of the people we are like that, right? Like sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not, depends on the situation. Sometimes, like if you don't like the person, it's even harder, né? Se a gente não gosta da pessoa, é mais difícil ainda. So it depends, né? Depends on the case. And you, Malu, are you good at seeing a situation from someone else's point of view?
I completely agree with Gustavo and Jonas. I do sometimes when it gets more emotional, you know, when it's something important to me, for example, then it's more difficult, especially with family. So it's more difficult than when it's more work related. So sometimes yes, sometimes not. Sometimes I just stop the negotiation and I say, okay, let's stop here, and maybe tomorrow we can go back and talk about it again, because now it's not the best moment to discuss it. And it works well because I'm in another mood, so it depends on sometimes.
Yeah, then you have new ideas, new things to talk about, new arguments. It's good to stop and think. Mostly if it's a serious negotiations, like you need to do it between companies, right? You need to stop, think what I'm going to say right now. And then if you relax a bit, it's good for everyone. Perfect. So let's go to question number 7, guys. Have you ever negotiated your salary? Why not, and what happened? For example, I never, because I don't like negotiations, just accept, and that's it. I never negotiated that. And you, Gustavo, have you ever negotiated your salary?
Not, but I'm learning how to negotiate because and I'm on interview process on that span of time currently, and I have realized that when the interviewer asks you what you would like to gain or something like that, and very often is not a question to approve you or to know your preference. It is a question to skip you, to hey, go away, next person. And I'm learning how to negotiation, and instead to response what salary I would like to gain, I ask for the bucket, and so I start to negotiate. And I could realize more good results and do it, and could advance to next steps. So it yes. So I started to negotiate my salary. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's nice for us to know how to do that. Because if we're not satisfied with our salary, we need to talk, right? Because something is wrong. And then it's important for us to know how. I don't know how. I need to learn. But right now, I don't know. And I guess, like, it's just like you said, it's a complicated situation because there are a lot of jobs over there that they say that the boss can say like this, you don't want your salary? Okay, there's someone else who wants. And then, like, it's complicated, right? So it really depends where you work, who's your boss, what do you do? It's complicated. And you, Malu, have you ever negotiated your salary? What happened?
Yes, I did. Not only salary, but also other kind of conditions. For example, remote work, a specific benefit, and it worked well. I was hired in a previous job, not my current one. And for my current job, I didn't negotiate salary, but I negotiated moving for another country. So basically, I believe I'm always negotiating something different. And well, it's working well too. So I believe it's important. If I can give you a tip to start negotiating, I generally use the I forgot the platform, Glassdoor. Then you can see at least what is the median salary that the company offers, and then you can start negotiating with a number that is feasible, So for example, if you are looking for a position and you see that it's paying, I don't know, 4,000 reais, and they offer 3, maybe it's not going to work. But if they have a range between 4 and 6, then you can negotiate something between this range. So I believe Glassdoor is a good start for negotiating salary.
Mm-hmm. I have already heard of this tool. I think it's important for you to know how much people who do the same thing as you, they earn, right? Because like, if you do the same thing as them, you need to earn the same thing, right? If you're good at job. So you need to know how much people earn. It's important.
Exactly.
Have you ever negotiated your salary? What happened?
It's you get a little bit.
Tá vendo?
But
No, but I'm asking you. Have you ever negotiated your salary? What happened?
No, I never negotiate. The closest to that was the old question interview about salary expectation. I worked for 20 years in the same company as a civil engineer, so I don't have too much experience in the market. After that company, I changed my field to software development. So I did some interviews 2 years ago. Right now, I am trying to learn everything because I am trying to change for a broad international career. So I need to learn about how to negotiate better my salary.
Send a message to Malu. Malu can help you. Malu has a lot of tips over there, so maybe she can help you.
There is a specific website that you can check, but I really forgot it right now, so I'm trying to remember. And you can see what is the cost for different countries, the median costs for living in Portugal, Spain, this kind of things, and the range of salary for those countries because it changed a lot. I'm trying to remember. My apologies.
It's remote, so the salary, they want to pay a lower salary than they pay in the country.
Because it doesn't matter where you are, right? It's important.
Yeah, and I have two friends that already work abroad, so they help me with that. Glassdoor sometimes help, not always has the information want for that company.
Yeah. For other countries, maybe Glassdoor is not the best platform. I am really trying to remember, but I will share if I remember.
Okay. So, guys, that was our conversation for today. The breakout rumors. Is everything okay? Acho que estava na breakout room. Tudo certo? Yes?
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, Hannah was a good host.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So, Marty, today we're replaced. So, let me stop the live on YouTube.